Indeed, you welcome back. It's still your program, ABC Sports, and of course, we're looking at the World Cup itself. The World Cup, how it's going. Just a few minutes ago, we showed you how it is all been explained, how the World Cup draws are being done. With me in the program, we'll have Idris Adeshino, and not forgetting Gary and Radborn. Guys, I mean, the World Cup is ever drawing close, and we're nearly there, let's put it that way. But then again, we can't start talking about the World Cup proper, Russia 2018, without looking back at what perhaps must have happened, the last time around. Is there anything that, has missed or we missed in 2014 that perhaps we'll be seeing in 2018? Apart from some of the teams that didn't qualify, will it be more tonic? Idris.
I've looked at the World Cup 2014, I've looked at the set of players we have now. In my opinion, I think this World Cup will be a bit diminished to the kind of standard we had in 2014. Because you just go through, look at the clips and you see fantastic goals. Unfortunately, majority of them, my worry is that again, some of the star players that we have here will go to big clubs again and go and die of that. Look at the guy that went to Madrid, the Colombian guy that scored one of the finest goal. What is his name now? It's moved.
James.
No, he's moved from Bayern Munich. He moved to Bayern Munich now.
Yeah, Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Yeah,
You want to imagine that from that World Cup, things were going to be different with him. Again, he's gone to Madrid, and it's end up back in Bayern Munich. And if you're not careful, the circle goes round and round and round like that. For African team, which I'm more interested in, this World Cup is going to be an opportunity for the likes of Mikel, Mikel is a veteran. He's gone there before. But the likes of Nwobi, Iheanacho, the Iheanacho is a World Cup winner that local age of 17. But on the global stage, this is the first time they're going to have there. Particularly the pressure of the World Cup. Yeah. They are young boys. No matter where you think they are young boys. Yeah. How are they going to cope? Then we see so many other players who will be bought and sold in this World Cup. But I just feel that the glamour of this World Cup, because majority of, if you look back 8 years back, Messi was at his best. In 2014 was not too bad. He's 31 now. Ronaldo was at his best then. He's 30 something. He's 30 something now. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. The likes of Noah and Co from Brazil, they're from Germany, then Neymar, that we thought was going to set the world alight last time. Things are not the way. You look back 4 years ago, they were at prime, and they are coming again. Ronaldo, Messi, all of them are going. So before we can see the finest football again, maybe in the next 4 years, where you talk about Belgium, these young stars of Belgium will have become really full, matured guys. But to me, it's going to be as enlightening, as spectacular as in 2014.
I think one of the things about those interesting is that I think it's a good point, because I think in 2014, the teams and the thing, there were a lot of the stars, and the glamour had a much higher glamour quotient, as it were. But I think one of the things that's interesting about this tournament in that sense is that the first time, and I know this comes to, Chris has been bugging me over many shows about trying to pick a winner, who do you think? And it's the first time in a tournament that I've looked at and thought to myself, it's not one team that really stands out the way that, or a couple of teams that really stand out the way they have in the past. And I think in some ways it's quite interesting, because I think it's for the first time in a long while, it's going to be pretty even. And it's really going to be a tournament which literally any team, you know what I mean? There's about 10 teams that can possibly win this. It's hard to say, well, these 2 or 3 teams, they're definitely going to win it. But in the end, I've had to follow Chris's instructions and come to make a decision on this. Things I have, which I'll say later on. But the point is that, but it's, you know what I mean? Even that decision is not a decision I can make with absolute confidence like I could. I remember in 2010, 2014, I knew, I had a very, supporting, and I knew who was going to make it.
It was easy. If you look at France, now France is much even better now than they were some years back, because of this new generation of players.
They got a lot of beautiful players
now. If you look at the traditionalists, the Spain, the Brazil, the Germany, things are not. Germany just lost in the last friendly.
To Austria,
To Austria. It's unthinkable. But again, you want to think that, okay, prior to World Cup, everybody wants to manage. Nobody wants to have a serious injury, because this is one of the most heartbroken. To get injured when you're when you're looking at the World Cup now, everybody wants to be in the World Cup. So that get injured, it could affect you going into your the league, and that could damage you. So I want to understand that, but that drama is not there.
Some are asking me the question, what do you think the last World Cup, we didn't see lots of goals. We saw intelligent goals, but we didn't see, bunches of goals. We saw tickles of goal. This time around,
I don't understand what you mean.
Following the past, World Cup.
It wasn't a high scoring.
2014 wasn't a high score.
And I think you're right. I think this tournament definitely. I think we can expect some goals this tournament, because again, because I think it'll be more even, and there'll be more opportunities for goals to be scored. But I think the other thing as well is that I think that we have a chance this World Cup for one or two new teams to make a mark.
Headway.
Yeah, not the usual suspects. Italy's not here this time around. So the usual things you would say, Italy, Germany, Brazil, and then an Argentina or something like that are always going to be there. Now Italy aren't here. Brazil are kind of on a rebuild. They're looking okay, but Argentina, we don't know. They're hot or cold one day, basically. It's not as clear cut. So I think there's a chance for the second tier of teams to make a breakthrough.
Really make a breakthrough. But I would have loved to see an African team in that regard. Well, but again, from what I'm seeing now, if you look at the profile of our players, what role do they play in their leagues? League is different from here. In the league, you are used to playing with these guys almost every day. So even when you close your eyes and there's a pass, you know who is going to get onto that pass. These people have been brought together recently from different formations. Ability, and don't forget that one of the problems in the African team is that we scattered across the world. For instance, now it's easier for England to assemble a team. 100% of them play the same league. Watching what they are in Africa, in Nigeria, in Senegal, in Morocco, they scatter around.
Well, Morocco and Tunisia have got a lot of players that play in their local league, so they're going to be in a good shape. The problem is that both those teams are in very difficult groups. So
very difficult groups.
All right, without wasting time, now it's still your program, and of course we're looking at the World Cup proper. We're trying as much as possible to draw close to those beautiful moments. But before we go deep into Russia 2018, it could be nice to take you to 2014, where goals and perhaps goals we have scored. We'll come back, and of course, the heart of this show for today will continue to stay with us.
The month-long festival of football is about to begin.
The players have prepared for their entire careers for this moment.
You can see what all of this means to them.
'Cause you're a sky full of stars.
Huge expectation on Brazil.
I'm gonna give you my heart.
Stand by for high anxiety and tremendous excitement.
Neymar, it seems, cannot be stopped.
Messi, majestic at the Maracanã. A sensational volley. Wouldn't you just know it? He's back with a goal. Balotelli.
Shakira.
My goodness me, can you believe this? Oh, and another near miraculous save.
Boy, are they building a statue for him. I don't care. Go on and tear me apart.
A moment of rash indiscipline, a moment of madness.
I don't care if you do.
And all the headlines will belong to Luis Suarez. The US ahead within seconds. What about that? It's John Brooks for the USA. Oh, yes, Jermaine Jones. What a cracker from him. Susie and Dempsey's Captain Marvel again.
The United States have turned many doubters into believers.
Is there quite enough drama in this World Cup for you?
I don't care. Go on and tear me apart.
Spain's embarrassment is complete. It goes down, penalty.
Tim Howard having one of the games of his distinguished career. De Bruyne has scored! The end of the road for the US. And that is it. This is going to penalties. It's missed. Brazil through! Brazil have done it! Somebody's going to be a hero. Somebody's going to be a villain.
The seemingly impossible has happened. Costa Rica in the quarterfinals. And Ruiz sees his shot saved by Krul. And Krul has tipped it aside. Netherlands make the semi-finals.
No, it's Luis. And it's sensational. 2-0 Brazil. Colombia so brave, but they are out.
Neymar, the superstar for Brazil, fractured vertebrae. He is out for the rest of the tournament.
Miroslav Klose, and that is a moment of history. That's 7. They cannot believe it. And Brazil's World Cup is surely over.
And for only the 5th time in World Cup history, a semi-final goes to penalty kicks. Maxi Rodriguez sends Argentina into the World Cup final.
It all comes down to this. The 3rd time these two famous footballing nations have met in the final. Can he finish it here? No! Miroslav Klose walking off for the very last time.
There's still plenty of time for someone to be a hero.
Götze!